All right. Oh, okay. Don't do that, I guess. Right. Um. Here we go. Here we go. Should be good and live everywhere. TikTok, if you're here, say hi. A little bit of a chaotic as well as short stream today. We'll just be doing like an hour. We will just be doing like an hour. What I want to do is do some quick drapery studies. Because this is something that I noticed. I struggled with for a bit recently in my internship. All right. There we go. There we go. So I have my reference off here to the right. And I've got all my audio on, it seems. Yes, yes, yes. Looks good to me, looks good to me. All the bars are moving. Okay. Then I think we just do some studies. And of course, we're going to be starting with some quick figure drawings for each of these, just to lay in sort of the surface on which to draw our drapery. To get me warmed up a little bit as well. These are the first drawings of the day. Oh. That's a little bit annoying. TikTok Live Studio is taking precedence over Clip Studio for my keyboard shortcuts. That's weird. Hotkeys. Just get rid of them. Just no hotkeys. Thank you. Okay, we back. We back. Apparently my starting soon slide is bad for like a TikTok stream. You're not supposed to have static content. The more you know. Cool. Well, here is a canvas on which to paint some clothes. Specifically, what I'd like to practice some more, because we've done some drapery studies before, but what I'd really like to practice today is like a direct painting approach. Because for the current work I'm doing for my internship, this is like a super useful tool to be able to just paint directly rather than have to draw first, then paint. It's just, we've talked about this before, it's a quicker process if you can do it. So we're gonna try to learn to do it. And I'm thinking just some value studies. Not gonna involve myself too much with color here. It started because I was doing some drapery on like a soft sort of fantasy pant leg for the internship, and I just couldn't get the shapes quite right. So really feeling the need to practice. And then I'm gonna get up some reference of some well done drapery as well. There we go. And so the plan is to go in with some strong shapes in the beginning. And then once I have some strong shapes, I can then treat the edges. So it's like a hard to soft painting approach. Maybe like a three value system. That way we can also like put in some big plane changes without having to just do harsh shadows. over here as well. And now we do that whole edge treatment thing. I mean, these are primarily hard edges because they're like tight folds. I just want to soften them like a little bit. That's wrong. That's wrong. This one we soften. These ones not as much. A little bit. All right, sure. There's one. There's one. You got to warm up with something. Give me just a second. Give me just a second, though. So once you have some strong shapes, I feel like you can quite easily come in and define them a little bit more. It's just you want that hierarchy to the process. First you get shapes that work, then you refine. Something like that. We could add like a bit of like a highlight value as well. It's a 4-value system now. Getting advanced, getting confused. Okay, but that overall seemed to work. I don't think I'm gonna do like all the tertiary details for all of these studies, but we can do a little bit here. Whoa, new haircut! Indeed, indeed, drastically different haircut. Some would say. A friend of mine called me out. Said that I was looking unkempt. Well, I asked him to. I asked him to call me out. On something, and then he brought up the hair. It's going well, it's going well. Just chilling, hanging out. Quick stream today, studying some drapery. Next one. What we got? A little bit of an unclear shape. This is nice. This is nice. This is good. We can do this one. Start with the gesture, start with the underlying form. How you doing, Pimp Master? Having a chill morning? Played League with a friend all night. Oh no. Well, oh yes, probably. Sounds nice. I'll high road the fuck out of you. I'm a sleep man myself. I like to sleep. But I mean, if you like gaming all night, I guess that's cool. That's cool too. Give me a second. Give me a second. Trust the process. You rarely game during the night. It was a nice change of pace. Okay, okay. No, I mean, I've definitely been there. I've definitely been like a big, most of the night kind of gamer. Stay up late with important events the following day. I've just transitioned out of that lifestyle recently. Past couple years as I started to draw more. I get the appeal, and I definitely can't earnestly high road you. Chain link arms, just because we're here. Might as well type beat. I almost like need a third screen now. I'm using a different piece of software to multi-stream to different services now. So no longer do I have all my chat in one spot. Maybe I could put up my iPad and then look at. That could be a fun setup too. Have some chat on the iPad, some chat on the monitor, my computer monitor, reference on the computer monitor. Okay, that's enough drawing for that one. Though actually it's not, this arm is huge. They both are. And I want more tilt to the ribcage pelvis. More of a stretch here. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec while I... Okay, cool. Now... Now let's just go ahead and do what we're here for. The drapery. Grab my main value here. This one Clip Studio is really nice for. Because Clip Studio has a lasso fill tool. Photoshop, for some reason, doesn't yet. So you have to lasso and then press Alt Delete. Man, that's so much work. Or you get like an extension. But Clip Studio has that shit built in. Still haven't found a smudge tool I like for Clip though. Gotta get on that. Okay, fine, fine. That's our main shape, and then get in these big shadow shapes. There's one like that. There's one like this. Already learning from my mistakes from the last one where I just went into small shapes really quickly. course, we're looking to work big to medium to small rather than small to big. Work general to specific rather than specific to general. All right. You're quite a tight edge. You're a bit rounder. Yeah, the smudge, I don't like it yet, man. I gotta find a fix. And this is the softest edge that we're dealing with. Over yonder on the knee. Yeah, and then there's like a bunch of little tiny shadow shapes. I don't even want to put them all into the shadow group, because a lot of that stuff makes more sense to just have as midtones. And also, let me think about why these shapes are the way they are, right? Let's do the analysis. Let's think about tension points. Let's think about the top of this knee, the top of this leg in general, but more towards the knee. How it tenses the fabric all the way across to the top of the opposing leg. Let's think about the elastic band here. It's also providing a certain level of tension. And then let's think about the excess of fabric in the crotch area that makes it so that even when his legs are this far apart, even when that's the case, give me a sec. There is bunching happening. There's bunching happening in sort of the crotch area of the pant. Cool. So let me think about those ideas as I put in these shapes. Find my halftone value, something like that. And then go like, hey, you're supposed to bunch and fold up here. That one's not necessary right now, but that one is. And then on this side, we're draping from like the crotch area of the pant, and we're draping from the top of the leg over here. And seeing a bunch of like flowing, curved shapes coming off of the top of the leg and draping off towards the center. Right now I'm not even putting in like specific distinct shapes that I'm seeing. Well, not a lot of them, a little bit here and there. The point is, it's just as much about the gesture of the drapery. Little more of these little shapes coming off. That feels decent to me. And then it's important to make sure we're affecting the silhouette in these areas where we have these little eyes here. How we're looking value-wise, mid-tone-wise over here. Looking good. Is my audio on? It is. It is. Scam bot. Yeah, I know. I gotta ask my technician, but I still haven't figured out how to remove the message. I can ban him now. One message was deleted by a moderator. Such a nuisance. Yeah. Cool. And now let's treat. Wait, where were we at? Bodies in motion. There we go. That's not the one. This is the tab. I gotta have like a reference browser and then like a navigation browser. Yeah. Anyway, treating the edges. Thing is, a lot of these folds are actually quite sharp. Like the creases are quite sharp, so the edges should be too. I hate that I just put that in the middle of the two shapes instead of offsetting it. Okay, some reflected light in here. I feel like this one's taking longer than the first one. Maybe I'm thinking more, then it's a good thing. All right, now let's supplement. Let's do the little highlight color. Even here, I think it's quite important to try and think in terms of planes. This is easier to do when you're using like a lasso tool approach. It's easier to think, oh, well, there's a plane there's a plane here. But even if you're just like putting these in with like a brush, just think in terms of, this is one big plane, and then the edge is rounding as it's reaching the top of the leg. But like, that's one big plane. Okay, put that in. Then go, this is one plane that's quite foreshortened, so it's quite a thin line when we look at it. A lot of small planes in here. Right, that's always the case with like rounding forms. Is when you simplify them into planes, they just become a lot of planes. Like top of the cylinder can be simplified into be a different plane than top front. Can be simplified into being a different plane than front. Not really liking that, how that's looking. Better. There we go. Cool. I guess that's another one. It's always nice to put in, like, if nothing else, just the seam of the pant leg. Especially because when dealing with like tighter pants or tighter folds, the folds will often like originate from or terminate at these seams. So they're nice to just like put in somewhere. I think we have time for one more in this quick stream. Definitely considering coming on later today and doing some more of these. I also have a different evil plan for a new project, and there's the Yunara skin still. So we've got work to do. Let's see if we can't find one more of these. That's where we started. Oh, that's the entire thing. Okay. Well, then we just do, I think, this one. Cool. Let me just make room for this guy. Yeah, he can be here. He can be here. Always start with a quick figure. One time, well, not one time, many times, I've had some of my animator friends say that, oh, it's easier to like animate a shot if, oh, say you're not like including the legs or whatever. And I get that there's like less lines to put on screen. I just feel like I have such an easier time drawing a pose in its entirety than just like a fragment of it. Because I get such a better understanding of what's going on with, say, the torso, if I also have the legs. But I guess if I fully know what I'm doing, I guess the adjustments I make to the torso based on what I figure out in the legs would be limited anyway. It's just like now we're doing these drapery studies and I really only need to draw the legs in theory, but I still feel like and I mean, it's good practice anyway. But I just feel like there's something to gain from drawing like the whole figure. All right. Okay, I might have to speedrun this one a little bit. I have 5 minutes left of this little morning stream. All right, good enough. Not a figure drawing stream after all. Luckily, this is quite like a classic drapery setup, right? Let me just mark the knee here. Because if we do the quick analysis, big ol' tension point, tension plane here, especially as we come towards the knee. Same thing for the other leg, big old tension plane, especially as we come towards the knee. Of course, the most significant one is the leg that's coming forward. The fabric will be more tense, more pulled on, and gravity is more like directly, more perpendicular to the plane. And so I think that comes across in just some more distinct direct folds. I know that's overkill to put all that in shadow, but we'll correct it a little later. And then a lot of this bunching in the crotch area because we have all this excess fabric. Two minutes, easy, watch me. All these directed folds coming towards the top of the bent leg, but especially the knee. And these will obviously run into like some halftone shapes as well. One minute, okay, maybe we're running out of time. Smooth the edges of the halftone shapes. Add a couple more of the same type of fold, coming to our tension point on the other side. A lot of these tertiary folds to like the elastic waistband and this primary important highlight plane from which we have these shoot offs as well. Little quick on the last one, but we got the point across. Okay. 2 days work. Where are you? You're there. Where are you? You're there. Great. This is what we did today. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. Hope to catch you guys on another stream, maybe later today, where I think we'll be doing some, probably a little bit more of this, maybe some concept art. Neat. Yeah, catch you guys. Goodbye.